Good. We're talking baseball, all right? When you think about the late 30s and early 40s, for most people, the specters of war and economic depression usually come to mind. But one place back then was a haven of optimism, and it was at the old ballpark. And joining us tonight to talk about baseball and the Indians in particular in that late pre-war period is author Scott Longert. Another book, Scott. Here we go.
Yes, we made it.
You made it. All right. Here we go. It's called Bad Boys, Bad Times, the Cleveland Indians and Baseball in the Pre-War Years, 1937 to 1941. Baseball-wise, were the Indians good at that time?
They were pretty good, but they had the problem of facing the Yankees. The Yankees were a dynasty, and the Tigers were getting really good, and the Red Sox were starting to come. So they were an upper division team, but not quite good enough to win at all.
Off your title, why were they bad boys?
There was a number of guys on the team that you wouldn't want them living in your neighborhood.
Really?
Very temperamental guys. There was a racist, Ben Chapman, who would harass Jackie Robinson very early in his career. He was our left fielder.
Was Ben Chapman in the movie 42?
Yeah, he was.
He was,
yeah.
But he was with another team?
He was a manager of the Phillies.
That's the one. Yeah, I remember that.
He was one of our outfielders.
Wow.
And Jeff Heath was a guy that had a terrible temper, a good ball player, but Heath would go in the stands, punch out a fan, and a day before, he threw his bat into the stands and hit Louis B. Seltzer, the editor of the Cleveland Press, in the shoulder.
Wow.
Then he got back to the dugout, and his friend on the team, Johnny Broca, another bad guy, said something to him. They started fighting right in the dugout in front of all the fans.
Boy, I only remember Reggie Jackson going after Billy Martin that time at Fenway Park. We saw a shot of Bob Feller there.
Yes.
17 years old, right?
Yes.
When he signed. Was
Yes.
it on the up and up? I mean,
No, it was
it was
not.
not on the up and up.
No.
So tell me about that.
Our GM was a guy that knew all the rules and tried to circumvent them. You couldn't sign a guy right off the high school sandlot. A minor league team got first pick. Then you could fight with the other teams to pay the big money to get the guy. The Indians, I think, were worried that Feller would be in a bidding war, so they signed him right off the sandlots and assigned him to one of their minor league teams and created a fake paper trail.
Bob Feller went to war. He would always
did.
talk about that. He was proud that he was on the USS Alabama.
Yes,
I believe
he was.
it was.
Yes.
Okay. These guys all went to the war, though, right?
Quite a few of them
And it took
did.
away years off their major league career. Ted Williams lost a lot of years.
Oh, yeah.
DiMaggio was in there. I mean,
Sure.
and I know there are others, right?
Yeah, Feller lost 3 full years in the prime of his career. We're probably talking 70, 75 wins and 800, 900 strikeouts he lost. But he always would say he had no regrets whatsoever about it.
No, he did. I mean, he was really very, very staunch about that.
Yes.
That he was very, very proud. He used to tell me I was a hawk. I'm a hawk, Jim. I'll tell you that. Where can we get your book? Because it sounds great.
It's at all the Barnes & Noble stores in Northeast Ohio, and all the independent bookstores have it, so it's readily available, and Amazon online.
As you look back real quickly, fun time to talk about?
It was kind of fun. You could laugh about it. They were the crybabies in 1940. That was their nickname for trying to get the manager fired, these guys, and they didn't happen. They were ridiculed the whole season for it.
It's called Bad Boys, Bad Times, the Cleveland Indians and Baseball in the pre-war years, 1937 to 41. Happy to have the author with us. Scott Longert. Scott, well done.
Thank you, Jim.
Come on back and talk baseball anytime.
I will.